Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the lead training series here with Insurance Toolkits. We have a new background today, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute. But we're going to be talking about an instrumental, pivotal, crucial element to not only scaling your insurance business, but optimizing the time in which you do so. And that is going to be the 2-hour day. So this is a very strong ideology that is going to, A, make you more efficient, but B, learn a little bit more about yourself so we can be more consistent, because that's what we're trying to do here when it comes to lead training and showing you guys the best way to optimize your performance isn't to have a crazy good week or a crazy good month, but it's to have continuously improving, progressively improving, and continuous, consistent results over time. You can have a great month, but you can't just have a great month in insurance or any sales business for that matter. It needs to be a good day, a good day, and a good day, and a good day, and a good day. And over time, you develop great years. So the reason I chose this background is because the data, the metrics, and the knowledge library that you store and create for yourself based upon your own disciplines is what's going to dictate the success that you have in the future. So we're going to start off with optimizing your schedule. And that comes down to the 2-hour day. But reducing it to its basis element, there's two simple terms that we're going to start with, and that's your RGA and your RGH. So your RGA is your revenue generating activity, and that activity is done within your RGH, which is your revenue generating hours. So your revenue generating hours, depending on where you're at in the country or the world, I guess, is typically going to be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you're on East Coast, it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, maybe it's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you can target your East Coast clients, etc. But for the most part, you have about 10 to 12 hours every single day, 7 days a week, that you have the ability to go talk to consumers and sell products, market, prospect, get referrals, etc. That's your hours in which you can generate money in the face-to-face or telephonic sales business, but especially with insurance. Because as we know, we sell real-time, high-intent leads. So we're giving you the best opportunity to make the sale. But if you're not optimizing not only the process, but when you optimize the process, then you're going to be leaving some money on the table. So your revenue generating, we'll kind of break it down for a second. Your revenue generating activity, it isn't things like sending emails, going to the gym in the middle of the day, organizing your work desk, buying a new computer, reading, sending monotonous texts to clients or emails, right? Things that can be important, but they're not going to generate revenue, but you can still do them, right? So those are things that we would do outside of that revenue generating windows. So maybe we get up at 6 a.m. and from 7 to 8, we're sending our emails. And then from 8 to 9 at night, we're sending our emails. But throughout the day, that's our opportunity to go out and sell to clients, we need to be aware of that. So your revenue generating activity is you're cold calling, you're calling leads, you're prospecting, you're driving to homes, you're in presentations, which is the bulk of the business. You're on the phone with clients, things that will end activities. Think about it like this: an activity that you start that will potentially or has the probability to end with you making money. Anything that can fit that basic criteria is revenue generating activity. Now, to get a little deeper into this, you have to understand yourself. So for me, it's the 2-hour window, the 2-hour calendar. I optimize my calendar from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I work my day in 2-hour increments because for me personally, based off of my knowledge library that I've developed and tracked for myself, my sales data year over year, I started my first business in 2015, which was my insurance agency. So I have 8-ish plus years of data that I've been able to track and look year over year to see when am I most efficient? When am I slacking off the most? When do I have the most sales? When do I have the least sales? So for me, with my time span of, my attention span rather, I operate most efficient in a 2-hour window. So my first window is 7 to 9. My next window is 9 to 11. My next window is 11 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, all the way to 11 p.m. And then from 11 p.m. until, when I wake up is obviously I'm sleeping. But outside of that, I have everything tracked and regulated. But it's also a fluid calendar, a fluid schedule, if you will. So I can do things as needed, and it's not going to mess up the majority. But you have to understand yourself. So some of the questions that I put myself to prompt for you guys is, how do you work best? Do you work best in the morning, or do you work best in the evenings? Are you most efficient? Are you working best when you're alone by yourself in a room locked away? Maybe you're in a little call center. Or do you work best when you are around other people? You're in a group and you can hear other people's phones ring and you can hear other people's rebuttals. Do you work best at home? Do you work best in an office? These things that may seem so rudimentary are overlooked so frequently, especially when you're a new agent. A brand new agent within your first year, but a new agent is typically the most pivotal part of your business, the foundation years, which is like years 3 to 5. If you make it past year 5, there's a very strong likelihood that you're going to make that a career. But if you give up in those first couple of years, you can have a good year, a good second year, maybe an okay third year, and people still, fail out of this business. It's very, very important. What this basically falls under is the umbrella of time management. And the essence of time management is your calendar. What are you doing hour by hour? So, of course, we have specifically training on rebuttal handling that I've done, working a good script, when you should be calling leads, what type of leads, all those things that we've talked about in the past. But that all is very, very helpful, knowledgeable data. But how can you take all of those metrics and plug them into your calendar? That's how you're going to optimize yourself. And we also want to focus on efficiency. You could, in theory, from 8 a.m. until noon, you could spend the first 4 hours of your day working very hard and being productive, but also simultaneously generating no revenue, because you could be sending emails to underwriting, you could be sending emails to clients, you could be filling out applications, you could be on the phone with the carriers and medications, you could be on the phone with clients' doctors, you could be doing a plethora of things that are productive and are going to result in a positive outcome, but yet will still not generate revenue. Going to the gym and taking care of yourself, personal care is a very instrumental part in longevity in business. You have to be happy, healthy, and wealthy, but at the same time, that's not going to make you money. So do the things that don't make money for you and don't increase the productivity of your business outside of revenue generating hours. So before 8 a.m. or after 8 p.m. Now, a point that I wanted to note here is don't use that as a crutch. Don't say, oh, I work best in the evening, so I'm going to take the mornings off, because then you are really just leaving money on the table. But once you know your limits and you know what works best for you, build your schedule around that, right? So when I was doing, when I was active in the sales and I was out in the field, 6-7 days a week, I know that for myself, when I got into the office, when I started at 7 a.m. versus 8 p.m., that first hour of the day, because I like to be up early. I'm a morning person, if you will. That first hour of the day, I would set from starting calling my leads at 7 versus starting at 8. I would most oftentimes set an additional 2 to 3 appointments per day by just working 1 extra hour. So if we understand consumer behavior, most of our clients, if you're selling final expense insurance or any sort of life insurance, are going to be working most times throughout the day. Right now, if you're working only final expense, there's a more likelihood you'll catch your client at home if they're retired and have since left employment. But typically, when you're working and you're selling life insurance and you're buying leads from us, you're going to be trying to call clients. If you start calling at 8 a.m., they're probably already at work or on their way to work. So you want to catch them either before they leave for work or in that 15, 20, 30-minute car drive, because when we're setting appointments for leads, we want to get them on the phone, let them know who we are, why we're calling, what information they submitted to us, get them on the calendar, just tie down that appointment, and then get off the phone. In theory, 2 to 3 minutes is the ideal call time. We don't want to spend 10 minutes on the phone. And not only for efficiency of time, because if you spend 10 minutes on the phone with every lead and you only set, let's say, 2 or 1 out of 2 of every 10 calls, you're going to waste an hour and a half of talking to people. So we want to get them on the phone, who we are, why we're calling, what they submitted, set the appointment, do the tie down, which is basically the reminder, right? So I'm going to be coming tomorrow in a red car and I'll park in the driveway and I'll see you then. Then you reiterate the time. But you have to realize that for me personally, I knew that I had a preference of the morning. So when I started calling clients at 7 a.m., my efficiency increased. So now by calling 1 hour extra per day and 1 hour earlier, I'm setting anywhere from 2 to 3 more per day. So we're looking at 6 to 10 appointments I'm setting extra every single week. And that might not be a lot. 2 appointments a day. Yeah, well, that's an extra 10 appointments a week, an extra 40 appointments a month. And you can start to see how that plays out. We're talking hundreds of extra appointments per year, which in the insurance business could be tens of thousands, if not close to 6 figures of extra commission by having those appointments in your favor simply by optimizing the schedule that works best for you. So we call it the 2-hour day because my days are broken down in the 2-hour increments because that's what works for me. So I urge you guys and encourage you guys, most of this can be generalized. Most people will find success on a very similar schedule, but you have to know your strengths, you have to know your weaknesses, and then optimize the strengths and try to mitigate the weaknesses, and then make a cohesive schedule to perform at your highest level. So once you know your limits and what works best for you, then you can build your schedule around that. So for example, I like to go to the gym every day. I'm going to do that before 8 a.m. I'm going to go from either 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 because that's when I can A, get my personal care done, but B, it doesn't affect my revenue generating hours because I wouldn't be calling clients at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 11 p.m. or midnight regardless. And then within those hours, if I'm doing something that doesn't generate revenue, there better be a very, very solid reason, and it better be a one-time thing. You shouldn't normalize doing things throughout the day that don't generate revenue. So this is more of a broad topic video. It doesn't specifically require to a specific niche of leads, but it is overall going to be one of the biggest helpful tasks that you set out for yourself, which is to optimize your calendar. Again, most people fail in business across the board in any business due to a lack of time management. Because you have the ability to control your time doesn't mean you should give yourself the ability to slack off and to go to the gym and to go grocery shopping and do things throughout the day that you know you shouldn't be doing. Because as we know, the key to success is doing the things that you know you should be doing even when you no longer feel like doing them. And if you can get that one sentence down, apply that to your calendar, you guys will have such great success in leads. Again, my name is Colton. I'm one of the partners here at Insurance Toolkits, and we offer a great lead program here. We offer final expense leads. We offer term insurance leads. We offer, we offer final expense leads. I'm looking at my calendar over here, and that's all the word term. We offer final expense leads. We offer Medicare leads, and then we recently launched and started selling ACA leads as well. So we have 3 different lead types, all generated and delivered in real time. Again, final expense, Medicare, and ACA. We can have those sent to your CRM with Insurance Toolkits. Again, having a lead subscription with us is completely free. The only time you would pay for anything is when you buy your leads. And because we are a software company, we don't have to price gouge you guys and mark our leads 200-300% up. We have shared leads that you can buy for final expense starting at $8 per lead, and then they go up incrementally as you buy more specific. Your demographic gets smaller. You buy exclusives. We have many videos on here as well for you guys to watch, some interviews that we've done with some of our lead customers, and I think you guys will be very pleased. So I hope that this helps you guys and you can optimize your schedule. If you have any questions, you need any help with setting up an account with us, you have some questions on leads, anything you want some specific advice on, I'm always available to help. You can email me with my email in the description, or it is Colton, C-O-L-T-O-N, at fextoolkit.com. So again, Colton at fextoolkit.com. I'm one of the partners here at Insurance Toolkits, and I run the leads department. So I am available to help you at any time for any reason, no matter how simple the question may be or how complex. We and I will help you come to your resolution. So optimize your schedule, find out what works for you, and make it last, guys. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.